but I'm saving it for the show.
Now, is it just for?
You mean the show that's right now?
To how Mouse ruined comics.
Okay.
All right, 30 seconds. Your 30 seconds are up. No more boomer music.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
So getting back to how...
Oh, what the heck? I guess I can't. I hit the wrong... Can't have enough of that song. So, guys, it's just us. There apparently is nobody watching yet. But we're live. It is Wednesday. It is another episode of the Mattriarchy. Today, it's the Battle Royale. It's mano a mano. It's my hero against yours. We're going to have an old school comic book shop fight. And you all out there in internet land, if anyone shows up, are here to participate.
I mean, wasn't there an old Newgrounds video that was perfectly situated for this exact scenario?
I have no idea. I was unaware of Newgrounds until
Ultimate Showdown of Destiny.
Yeah. Never saw it. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
That's gonna be a fun video for you to watch later. It's good times.
It's basically what we're doing, but in an animation. Yeah.
And so more silly.
Yeah, although the winner of that one was dumb. Like, if I'm being honest.
So we've got our bracket here. We need to fill it out so we know who we're actually fighting against. That's the problem here.
That is always a good point.
So so far we've got the Doctor and Squirrel Girl.
I'm changing mine actually.
Okay, you're changing yours. Who you're changing it to?
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Oh,
all right.
Gosh, we're gonna go with toon rules.
I mean,
this is an actual thing that, like, if you go to Comic Vine, like, there's actual like rules for like characters you can and can't use, and they usually or scenarios, because like Toonverse, where it's like, oh hey, that character got blown up, but they're totally fine. It's
I'm simply gonna go on the rule that Looney Tunes characters and DC characters have shown up in the same comics together.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Well, but if you go with the DC Comics version of Bugs Bunny, then he's just like a thug with long teeth.
I'm going
gonna lose.
It depends which of the crossovers. Okay. Some of them he's just a guy. Some of them he's an actual rabbit. It depends which of the crossovers.
Is he an actual guy who cross-dresses though to confuse people?
This obviously. This stream's gonna be a disaster, and I'm gonna love it.
Oh.
So okay, but with that's only I pencil Superman in there, but I'm not 100% on that. So
he's default. You kind of have to have him in.
Yeah, I know, but that seems weak.
You know what? Are we only gonna have just 4 champions, or should keep doing this and keep filling them out, and we can throw in Squirrel Girl?
Go with Silver Age Superman just to be safe.
I'm gonna go with Captain Marvel. That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't know. Which one?
Billy Batson, Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're talking Golden Age when he was outselling Superman. Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Captain Marvel. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the MCU version.
Because in this house there is only one Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this house, kids, there's only one Captain Marvel.
No, there's 2. There's Billy Batson and Monica Rambeau. That's how that works.
Well, technically, wait. What about Marvel, the one who died of cancer?
Well, his name is Captain Marvel. He's not Captain Marvel.
Oh,
it's Captain Marvel.
There are at least 8 Captain Marvels.
I mean, there's way more than that, because I mean, there's Hillbilly Marvel.
Oh yeah. There's
that's true too.
Uncle Dudley. There's the
Marvel Girl,
Captain Marvel Jr. Yeah, but you know,
Hoppy the Marvel Bunny.
Hoppy the Marvel Bunny. David
This
Shanovich.
is what we should do, actually. We should pit the super families against each other.
Okay.
Well, that's a little last minute.
Yeah.
This is last minute enough. I'm not upending.
That's good. That's good pitch for another show.
A different show. And then we'll have to look at which is the superior family. At that point, we can look at a lot more than just a battle royale.
Which one has the best dad?
What are we gonna do? Are we gonna let the audience decide?
I think we're gonna we're gonna let the audience vote on it. So, Dave, out there in the chat, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. I know we're running late today. So here's one of the things that we wanted to do is we're having this battle royale, and we wanted you in the chat to pick out the places, right? The scenes where the fights will imaginary happen,
and then Taylor will draw them all. See, that's why I actually invited you on.
No, and then when we start the combat, we're gonna roll this little d6 here, right? And then it'll determine which of the 6 locations that the fight happens in.
You know what I like is
and that will color the argument based upon the environment. See? So give us some places there, Dave.
And what I like about this is both Bugs Bunny and Doctor Who are both pacifists.
Well, Bugs Bunny's not a pacifist. That is not true.
He's
avoidant.
That is just simply not true.
I mean, technically, neither is Doctor Who. He just, again, is avoidant of direct conflict.
Sometimes. I'm pretty sure I could look up a Bugs Bunny boxing clip.
Oh, yeah. But if Bugs Bunny can trick you into punching yourself, he'll definitely do it rather than punch you. Not all up to you, Dave. Just pick like a place, and then as other people show up, then we'll pat it out there.
And who's Captain Marvel fighting? I can't really see that on the screen well.
Nobody yet. It's just his team 3. So, because we're still waiting on Twitless to the
okay. All right. So I'm gonna go with. I wanted to do something like different because I like to be different. So I'm going with what?
Difficult, yes.
Contrarian, maybe. I'm going with Dead Man.
Okay.
Can't kill him if he's already dead.
Yeah, but Dead Man can't directly attack people either. He's got to possess them.
Well, there you go.
So, okay.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Okay. This is going to be fun.
Wait, did you just want it to just be Hulk versus Thing versus a Japanese version of that?
Oh, hey. We've got some new people.
Hey.
Yo.
Have you guys been hanging out for like a long time?
No.
Okay. So
Not too long.
Oh, good. I didn't see it. It was below the fold, so to speak, to use the old newspaper term. So I didn't see it pop up there. So guys, what heroes are you bringing to bear tonight?
I'll let the metal go first.
I honestly did not think about it.
Okay, I'll go first then. Ultraman.
Ultraman. Ooh.
That's a pretty good one.
Hold up. Which Ultraman?
Let's just go with the original.
Okay.
I'm not going to go too nuts.
We really need some intense battle music for this.
Unfortunately, we didn't get. I didn't get a single Patreon off of that month of time. So, I did not. I don't have this extra room in my budget to buy for battle music. So, we're just gonna have to go without it. We're gonna have to imagine it, or I could play it through my computer and then pick it up on my microphone, and that would be horrible. So we don't want to do that.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, Hiroshi Paradox says Mr. T ought to be on the list, and I am a huge dude. Hiroshi Paradox. I'm such a huge Mr. T fan that I wrote him into our comic universe, like on the webcomic. You can actually go find some Mr. T adventures on forceofgoodandevil.net if you're really interested in that.
I really hope we get to see some pictures of the Mr. T comic tonight.
Well, we'll see how it goes with that. We'll see how it goes with that. Neo, how's it going? Also, and Jim Tuner is in the chat as well. So you guys, Metal, who is your champion?
Well, I see Bugs Bunny's on there, so I'm gonna have to go with Popeye if that's still an option.
Oh.
I was hoping Popeye would show up at some point.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at, Metal.
Yeah.
I got to be completely honest. I kind of expected Carl to pull out Popeye. So.
Yo, I love Popeye.
I expected myself to pull out Popeye, but last minute decision before I even went on, I'm just like, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pick Ultraman. It's like a ridiculously
my only
OP
problem
choice.
is, if I'm going to be honest, I don't see a fight between Bugs Bunny or Popeye ending.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. Oh man. Okay, so Dave came up with a whole bunch of are we creating a costume fighting game? No, what we're doing with your template. Oh, and thank you for use. I meant to ask you before I got up there, but I ran out of time, Neo. But what it is we are just doing a battle royale, and so everybody's picked a champion, and then we're going to argue about who gets to win and the locations. Dave just picked a bunch of great locations. They are the Moon, Castle Dracula, Ice Planet Hoth, Smurf Village, and Kensington, Philadelphia. So I'm going to make a list so I can keep track of what's what. So give me just a second to open up a Word document here.
Okay.
I'll write those down here.
I can do.
So
Trying to figure out if Ultraman has an extreme advantage or disadvantage in Smurf Village.
Yeah,
I mean, he just takes one step and the entire place is
He might just miss the whole village.
Yeah, he might do that too. Actually, he's that big.
Well, and then the other thing becomes is like how do we play it with the thing?
How does he locate the heroes? Like they're so much smaller than him.
Well, he's got Ultra Vision.
Yeah,
he does, but it's still kind of funny.
The thing about Ultraman is he technically qualifies as a kaiju, but tragically, if he's in Smurf Village, there are no tall buildings for him to knock over in the fight.
He's not a kaiju. He's a Kyodai hero. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to go there.
Giant creature, buildings to knock over, same difference.
Nah, he fights the giant creatures that knock over buildings. You see, there's a difference.
Oh, I'm gonna love this night.
This is gonna be something else. Okay. Well, it's best what I have to type too. I was expecting all this.
Oh, wait. Is this double elimination? I see a loser's bracket on there. Nice.
It wasn't going to be double elimination. They only had 4, and then then you guys came, and it was like, okay, well, we're just going to keep it.
Do we want to just it's supposed to double elimination? We could just propose 2 people, so in case one of us gets knocked out early, we have something to do.
A new challenger has arrived.
I have a second. I want to go for.
Or I mean, maybe the tunes should be given a special buy bracket because they're tunes.
Maybe we should each choose 2, and we actually have to pit them against each other ourselves.
I don't. No. We're just gonna run through this. Okay.
Okay.
So we are shy 1 location. So.
What's that? We're looking for.
We're looking for the location. Let me think.
The studio cafeteria, since Bugs Bunny's involved.
No.
That's a Blazing Saddles / silent movie reference.
If you're gonna do Bugs Bunny, do the actual WB studio.
South Park. It'd be a fun place to wreck.
Okay. Actually, we're gonna do Gordon, Nebraska.
All right.
Jim Tuner says Bugs Bunny. We already have some good engagement in chat. Bugs Bunny can outlast the spinach power up.
Oh, that's not going to be a problem.
Evie says Nebraska, just the whole state.
I mean, Bugs Bunny has lost before.
To Elmer Fudd of all things.
Yeah.
And to a tortoise.
Oh, he loses to the tortoise all the time.
Yeah, actually, tortoise in the hair.
I gotta take Gordon off because I missed this going on earlier.
Castle Grayskull.
The chest of Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that beats my last minute thing. So we're gonna go with that one.
I feel like this entire conversation is going to end up being one giant game of rock paper scissors.
Yeah. Kinda.
And spinach triumphs all.
All right, but you have to do a
Nah,
Popeye voice all the
my
time.
money's on the space cop with the power of light.
So here we go. Put Grayskull in Nebraska. I can't. It's already on Eternia.
But I mean, would anybody notice if it was in Nebraska?
Well, yeah.
Maybe that's where Eternia was all along.
I could believe.
Nebraska just has an entire planet located like directly in it.
So for our first matchup, we have Popeye versus Bugs Bunny. So,
starting out hard.
So what we got to do with it? And hey, and Captain Cummings is here as well, and Mrs. H, a whole bunch of folks. I may have missed somebody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I've been preparing for the tournament. Okay, here we go. We got the dice roll, and it is location 3, which is Castle Dracula.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I already know how this cartoon starts. It's literally Bugs Bunny, and hey, I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Popeye's ended up in some strange places by accident. So this works.
I watched this.
Just washes up on the shore.
And I think Bluto's been Dracula before. I think.
Probably. Yeah.
Wait, does that mean we have to include him?
No, he doesn't have to factor in at all.
Okay.
We're not factoring in characters, antagonists, or rivals here. Just the characters themselves.
I'm kind of seeing this, Marvel misunderstanding scenario where the two of them end up just working together to fight Bluto.
No.
That would happen.
We can't do that in a tournament format. I don't think.
Is Battle Royale. So
this is our freaking tournament arc, man.
I remember who picked Bugs Bunny. Was that Tyler?
That was me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Cartoonicus. So Cartoonicus, you need to go ahead and defend. How would you, as Bugs Bunny, defeat Popeye?
Okay, and we are in Transylvania. You said
we are at Castle Dracula now. For the record, because I'm phrasing it that way, I'm specifically meaning Castle Dracula from the Castlevania video games. So
that's what I assumed.
Okay.
So we might even be fighting upside down at some point.
Does
you
this
never
mean we
know
have
what
to
could happen
be
here.
the...
Okay, so we're not talking about like Hammer. Okay.
So something tells me this means we are, in fact, the NES video game versions of these characters.
Sure.
I guess.
I mean, they did both have video games around that time.
They did.
Yeah.
I have lots of fond memories of the Popeye game. That was a pretty good game.
It was a Japan-only Popeye game for like the Super Nintendo. I've never played it, but it looks interesting.
I have more fond memories of the Popeye arcade game than I do of Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout for the NES, which is a ridiculously easy and boring game.
See, I'm remembering the what was it? The PS2 Bugs Bunny game.
Hey guys, you're supposed to be fighting. Come on.
Actually, no, that's right. It was the Wii.
So Bugs Bunny, you're approached by a sailor in the middle of a spooky castle. What do you do?
It depends. How do we start this fight?
Wait, are we role playing? Like,
do I have to roll?
I didn't come here for the role.
Yeah. I thought we were just arguing the characters.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
blow me down.
Bugs Bunny casually starts poking his head around Popeye, just wondering what he's doing, getting all annoying. And what's up, Dak?
Good lord, I've seen this every time. I can picture this in my head.
Jim Tuner from the chat with the best line of the chat so far.
Hello, sailor has to be the first line.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't even factored this in. Both characters are dressed like a woman at some point. Does that factor in? Is that factor into their skill sets? They have a drag off.
As a matter of fact, Bugs Bunny.
Who's the best Dragula?
Dragula.
Considering Bugs pretty much has the exact same figure as Olive Oil.
So the metal, you got to realize that you're now being sniffed around by a anthropomorphic rabbit. What are you going to do with
Yes,
that?
well, see, Popeye, it's not familiar with this area at all. He's not really familiar with Romania, specifically the Transylvanian area, even though he's been everywhere. He's just like, this is landlocked. He's not really, he's used to the sea and stuff. He's been stuck here for quite a while, and now he sees a human-sized rabbit walking around, which might be a pretty good meal. He's kind of hungry in this really spooky castle. He's probably killed like a minotaur or two while he's been in here. Just not really doing it. He's not used to that monster meat.
Oh my!
Did he punch a wall at least? Did he get some of that turkey?
He did not find any of the wall chickens.
Ah, man.
Oh gosh.
Don't mention on a carrot.
This is the most amazing abortion we ever had on this show. Okay, so Popeye is upset. So who's going to take the first blow? That's the question. Who strikes first?
I would assume Popeye would, because he wants to eat that
Definitely
rabbit.
Popeye, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Popeye's going to come after and try to devour Bugs
Yeah,
Bunny.
he's going to try to punch him so hard that he just gets cooked in the punch.
Yeah.
How hard?
It just
do you
becomes
have
a
to-
Actually,
roasted rabbit immediately.
He's done that to certain things before. He has punched things that turn into food. He
All
can
right,
do
is this
that.
going to be with or without the spinach?
He has not ingested spinach.
He has not ingested the spinach yet, I'm assuming.
All right,
Where's your
roll a
paradox?
d20.
Oh no, we're not gaming this.
It's a tie. They both get canceled with Twitter.
All right.
Hiroshi's probably right.
Here's what happens. Popeye actually gets the first shot off. Bugs Bunny goes flying across the island, slams into a tree, dusts himself off, gets counts some stars above his head, gets up, looks at the camera, and says, "Of course you realize this means war." Drum roll, please.
I love the scenario. Now, since we're not going to bother actually rolling stats in this, which for some reason is my next impulse.
Yeah, this is no RPG, man. No RPG.
So it's getting pretty close. So,
So, I mean,
close at this point.
But, first,
okay,
Popeye's a punchist, right?
yeah.
And Bugs is more of speed. So it's like your classic puncher versus your classic Sugar Ray Leonard type of fighter.
Yeah.
Popeye's pretty fast.
Yeah. So how do you see this go down here, Taylor? Is it what who do you think wins?
I'm pretty sure the person I chose wins.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so you think Bugs wins?
Sorry.
But why?
How does Bugs win?
Explain.
Well, first of all, I think Bugs is going to immediately take on the persona of a sailor, probably a pirate. He's going to show up in an attempt to convince Popeye that he is actually his boss, who is very, very, very disappointed at, and you better get on that ship and swab the deck. Get to it.
Okay.
Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4.
That's an incredibly Bugs tack.
Yes.
So Metal, do you think Popeye falls for it?
No, so Popeye has always had a problem with authority, despite being a sailor, especially because most of the time, like in half the cartoons, Bluto's actually like his superior, right? Half the times he's his boss and stuff, and he just doesn't care whether, Bluto's his boss. He will still knock the lights out of him if he's like pissing him off. So like, I really don't think that's the tactic Bugs needs to do.
Popeye's done a lot of sailing by himself too. Just him in a boat. Captain Jack Sparrow style, like before Captain Jack Sparrow. So I definitely think that.
So what does he do in response to this random authority figure rushing in to tell him what to do? What's he do?
He takes his thumb out, like he's about to give a big thumbs up, puts it up to his mouth, and he blows his fist up really big, and then just kind of like hammers down on top of the sailor.
I love it. I love it.
Right now.
Unfortunately, at this point, the 7-foot tall costume Bugs is wearing falls off to reveal that Bugs has actually been standing behind a giant anvil, and that's what he just punched.
Sounds appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on
So-
brand.
So does This is amazing. So does Popeye have a broken hand from this anvil action? He wasn't ready for it. What do we see?
No one has a broken hand, but it is pulsing red.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Like you would see the X-ray immediately of the hand like fracturing, but it really wouldn't be broken afterwards because everything just like gets back to normal.
Basically, what happens in Mortal Kombat when you do an X-ray attack.
Yeah, but it just immediately fixed because it's Popeye.
For a
It's just
second, we
pulsing red. He's like,
Well, that's the way it is in Mortal Kombat too. It's like you do lethal injury and then they just like stand back up.
like nothing ever happened.
Right. It's like I've just punctured your lung in like 4 places, and it's like, it's fine.
And for a second, Popeye gets to be voiced by Mel Blanc as he goes, "Yeah!"
That's accurate. So what's Popeye's reaction to this? We're gonna have to figure out how to speed these up.
At this point,
I could just fast forward to the end if you want.
Yeah. I think we need to just say who wins in the fight, not like what happens every 10 seconds.
And I can explain to you why Popeye ultimately wins.
Okay, so we just make our arguments.
Right. And I can give you just in one argument, right? So,
Okay, gotcha.
Both of them have done quite a bit of their own like fourth wall breaking sort of like super surreal level stuff. You like even have the episode where Bugs is the animator messing with Daffy and stuff. So ultimately they could just get up to the point where they're at like almost a god level of what's going on. Right. But Bugs has only ever been an animated animator at best. Popeye, on the other hand, in a live action stunt in one of his cartoons, has actually reached out of the film reel and conked the animator working on it, the live action animator, affecting the real world.
Ooh, that's a really good argument.
Oh, I see where this is going. This is actually pretty good. This is a pretty well constructed argument.
Yeah, Bugs has actually lost when he was against the artist. Yeah,
Neostar makes the most awesome comment here. This is amazing. Bugs Bunny also eats the spinach. They get into a slug fight and then obliterates the film strip until there's nothing left. And they wave to the camera and say, "That's Elvis."
Okay, so we have the ability. So we have the sheer power of Popeye being able to alter the animated world in which they live. Can you, Twitless? Cartoonicus, come up with a counter argument to that?
I'm going to point out that Bugs Bunny and many other Looney Tunes characters have done this same thing enough times. Twitless is right when he does say that technically they used it to get back at Bugs once through Elmer Fudd. But what I'm going to fall back on is ultimately when the chips are down and we're sitting on a white screen because the entire animation has been destroyed. Bugs' ability to literally pull out a pencil and start erasing Popeye from existence.
I've got a counter to that. So, not only has Popeye done the same, obviously they're cartoons, right? Popeye's been erased before. And being erased, he literally drew himself and then a can of spinach.
I want to see proof of this. I need images now. Do you understand?
Picture.
He's also went up against God, who turned off reality. And after all of reality was turned off, he turned around and Popeye was standing there.
Is this an original cartoon? Is this some remake?
No, this is part of Popeye.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Okay, wow. We're getting into.
I was gonna say
Popeye's busted. I just want you to understand this.
They both are.
A good counter argument is the fact that Bugs has been the artist before, so he's essentially played animated God.
Right.
So
I really think Neostar has a point in that this may be an unwinnable fight, but for either.
This is what I said before we went into it.
Is that what you? Okay.
Oh yeah, I think you said you don't think the fight actually ends. It just
Which
goes
is why
on.
we need the Doctor to enter now and maybe change up the scenario.
See, here's the thing. I almost feel like for cartoon characters, we need to make different rules.
Yes.
And it's like, as opposed to like which one of them wins in an actual fight, more like which one of them like gets to a particular objective first. Because I feel like that's easier to establish.
That's true.
The real problem is, how does Bugs keep spinach out of Popeye's hands?
He
He's a
doesn't,
rabbit.
because what will happen is that spinach will come in fairly early in there, but at the end, Bugs will somehow end up with a can of carrot spinach, and he goes and eats it, and he turns into
Captain
put
Carrot?
something up here. Oop, taking too long. This. Oh, darn, it's small.
It is small.
There we go.
You crispy JPEG.
So Jim Tuner has a Neo says it should have been Popeye versus Superman, probably, but I just picked it at random. I just threw stuff up there at random.
Yeah, Popeye creamed Superman though.
Probably.
Popeye has been Superman.
So,
And as we can see here, so is
Popeye
Bugs Bunny.
Yes, exactly. So
has an
basically,
army of fried chicken franchise workers to set against Bugs. That's
yeah.
funny.
Either they have to somehow work together to beat Superman, or the universe implodes.
Popeye can be distracted away from a fight, which is true. Something that nothing would distract Bugs.
That is
that's
an interesting point.
That's a solid point, Jim. Okay, so you
Question
guys out
is,
there.
could Bugs cross-dress into someone that would distract Popeye?
I mean, we do know the profile that Popeye likes, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he could probably pull off an olive oil.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. So you guys out there in the chat, let us know who had the better argument. We're just going to go ahead and go down.
Yeah, that's.
Well,
I think
my counter to that
right.
though is that cross-dressing has almost never actually worked in Bugs' favor. It's almost always backfired on him.
And again, Popeye is cross-dressed too. He knows the secrets. He knows the techniques.
I've seen Popeye knit a metal beam into a ship's chain and anchor.
But I do think that the best argument is, in the end, Popeye pretty much always wins. That's kind of like the nature of his character, while Bugs ends up in like a losing situation far more often than not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say more often than not, but it does happen.
Yeah, not more often than not.
Not more often than
He
not.
has a few times. I'm also going to point out he's probably got about 10 times the amount of cartoons that Popeye has, so the percentages are just going to do that.
Yeah, Popeye's not just a cartoon character though. He had dozens of years of comics in the Thimble Theater and then Popeye the Sailor. So
Yeah, he's actually a
just
longer
arguing
running
who's
character
older
than
then?
Bugs is.
that it? Or just two old guys fighting each other?
Yeah.
yeah, they are basically just two old guys fighting each other. That is true.
Yeah. So the important thing about Bugs, though, when you're talking about whether he wins or loses, most of his wins are against recurring characters that he is around a lot. A lot of his loses are like one-time characters that show up in his thing.
Well,
like when he deals with gremlins, that's kind of a loss. And a lot of like just the one-time situations are usually there to make the fool out of Bugs Bunny.
Which
Right.
gives
Okay,
us...
you know what,
okay.
Rhys, do you know how to do a straw poll?
No.
You
I'll
just
do it.
gave me
Hold
the
on.
idea for a conspiracy theory that
'Cause
says...
we can, even though we can't do YouTube
anytime-
polls, we can do polls.
See, now I've got a conspiracy theory that says anytime Bugs Bunny loses, it's because Elmer is specifically messing with him.
Oh, I'll come with the reverse one. I think anytime he wins, it's because his own cast is trying to make him look good.
Oh, here we go. Here's actually a thought. Dave points out that Bugs Bunny got distracted by a robot female rabbit, so it's mechanical.
Oh, no.
That's true.
Are we going to go there now?
I mean, the more we keep going, the more it feels like this should be a draw.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
But
I started with this.
They're both characters who always win, so...
I think ultimately, and this was my point from the beginning that I never actually said, is that the reason I chose Bugs is he has the ability to have literally anything happen to him and even go against him and somehow come back from it. he can die and go to heaven and just, get on an elevator and come right back down and be messing with you again. You can blow him up, and somehow he's 50 feet in the other direction immediately, dressed as a bus driver, mocking you somehow, right?
See, that's kind of the problem with most cartoon
Right.
characters.
Yeah,
though.
like, because you could say everything about that about Popeye as well.
Hold on.
When
All
you
right,
put them in
so
like
Rhys-
a tournament of this sort.
Rhys, pin my comment. All right, chat. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a straw poll for Bugs Bunny or Popeye or Double KO. You cast your votes. We'll give it a few minutes. We could probably get into the next one and get the
That
results.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's an option for double KO. Okay.
All right. Well Red says Bugs can be on my YouTube poll anytime.
But I am going to
And
disagree with you. I would say most of the time, Popeye's antics include, like we were saying, knitting a ship back together and stuff. But it's very physical. It's very in the scenario, in the area. He's not just going to immediately, roll a d20 and change the rules on you.
All right. I'm gonna put in my 2 cents. I think Bugs wins, and the reason why is that animals trump humans in cartoons.
That is true.
I think there's kind of an unstated rule that the animals tend to be the underdog, and
Yeah, but that's specifically like a Warner Brothers Disney.
That
rule,
is because
not a
Popeye's
Fleischer
fought like
rule.
gorillas and stuff like that.
No, not as the underdog though. If Popeye was to start beating up a little kitten, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't win.
True.
It's just
Now-
it's the
Popeye
cartoon.
wouldn't beat up a little
It's
kitten.
the cartoon. What I'm saying, it's the cartoon underdog rule. So whoever gets to be the underdog in that scenario is the one who wins. I think Bugs Bunny that's like his trump card. Is he's almost always the underdog.
So how does Dracula Castle fit into this?
Yeah,
I don't think it matters.
It's just kind of a cardboard backdrop at this point.
Okay.
Jim Turner says, "Let's keep underdog out of this." Good point. It's fair.
All the zombies and Medusa heads, those don't matter. The clock tower, it's not going to do anything.
Can like Hazel the Witch and all from Looney Tunes be in that? Because that might change things. If you've got a big creepy castle, Bugs is an expert at destroying people in big creepy castles.
I doubt Witch Hazel would be there.
Now Popeye might build the castle.
A succubus would be there. There's that.
Oh,
I kind of feel like for the
no,
next
the
fight,
succubus again is Bugs in disguise.
I kind of feel like for the next fight it should be Doctor Who versus Ultraman, because those two seem to feel like they
Oh wow.
fit together more than they do with the other two characters on the table.
Doctor Who and Ultraman actually do kind of fit together well. Come to
See,
think
I
of
feel
it.
like Doctor Who is the only reason that any of these characters have ended up in the same universe.
I mean, that is a strong, compelling argument.
Were you able to pin my comment? I don't see it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
How is that not?
All
I'm
right.
not seeing it.
Oh yeah, I see it. Girl, pull me. Do I get to vote?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we have requests to move the Doctor to face Ultraman. Okay. I guess that'd
be kind of fun.
I'm disinclined to do that just because I hate things like that, but I guess.
Do what you think is right, man.
Yeah, I mean it's your place, but as this argument was going on, I could see like Bugs and Popeye going together like peas and carrots, or apparently spinach and carrots.
The spinach and carrots do go well together.
It really is making me want to see this cartoon.
Yeah, for sure.
Who the heck voices it?
I don't know. How do we get to look at the Wimpy could beat both Popeye and Bugs if he's kept from his hamburgers.
So I set the poll up, and it's not giving me results. It's saying
I
zero.
couldn't see results either.
It's saying zero votes. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I just voted. So I'm not sure.
I just voted too.
Oh, you know what though? I think I can vote infinite times too.
No, it won't let you do that.
No, it won't.
I just keep hitting the
It
vote
won't.
button and it just keeps going to the next page.
Why the heck is
Go to results, and then vote is still there. Yeah, this is weird.
Oh, I wonder if one of my crazy ad blocks are.
You have to be logged in, maybe.
No, it's just a comment.
Oh, am I still sharing this? No.
I've never done anything like that before, so.
Normally, it works like a charm. I don't know why it's.
Is it because both of these characters are way, way before computers?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Yeah.
That's how things work in the real world.
They both just reached out of the fictional world to stop the poll from working.
I mean, both of them can. In fact, Bugs Bunny died in the fictional world and then reappeared in the real world in his most recent cinematic experience.
That was the weirdest, most nonsensical detail of that movie.
Okay, so I'm going to vote and see. Still says nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll try to. We'll just mulligan this one, and I will try to get it working for the next one.
Well,
it's also why when I run versus battles and stuff, I typically just ban cartoon characters.
Except
but I was not about to bring a realistic character into a fight with Bugs Bunny.
How do you determine though? Technically, Superman is a cartoon character.
Right,
he's got like a steady flow of logic to him. That's the real thing.
Yeah, not Toonverse.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, the other thing is that people just mention in the chat, and we can count. Do it old school.
Just do one for Popeye, 2 for Bugs, and
we'll get 3 votes total.
So, okay. I think we should move on. So we're looking at the Doctor versus Ultraman. Now.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, now these are 2 characters I know not nearly enough about.
It's okay because I'm limiting myself to the 4th Doctor. I'm not getting into any of the more contemporary Doctor shenanigans.
And I'm limiting myself to the original Ultraman from the 60s.
The best one.
Ray
You had to choose one I've never seen before.
Here we go. This is.
You've never seen the original? No. That's a classic.
He's probably only ever seen Tiga.
I
That's
have
what
seen
most people have
3
seen.
episodes of number 11.
So both the Doctor and Ultraman have their own support staff working through the United Nations and other governmental agencies that will both, in appropriate fashion, be making themselves incompetent and unable to check on each other, leaving the 2 protagonists stuck to do battle. Ultraman has come to see a clearly alien spacecraft that is damaged in the middle of Japan. Or where actually did we draw for?
No, we didn't. Here, let's roll for it.
Where's our location? It can't be Japan because I don't think Japan's on the list.
No, it's not 5. Kensington, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So apparently the SSP Paris branch has gotten news from the American branch that some weird shit's going down in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Now we need the Japan branch to check it out for some reason.
Because that makes sense with government bureaucracy.
Okay.
And the Doctor is work.
American branches,
Maybe this is like the 1998 version of Godzilla, where they choose to put him in New York instead of Japan.
Nah, we're going purist here. This is the original version of the character.
Yeah. And Ultraman, of course, comes to Kensington, Pennsylvania because of a clear crash of some alien artifact, and the American government trusts him because the British government doesn't let him know. Oh, by the way, the crashed alien spacecraft is working for us.
You're saying the crashed alien spaceship is Doctor Who?
Yeah, it's the TARDIS.
Oh,
yeah.
That's why Ultraman's there, and of course the crashing of the TARDIS has caused this sequence of events that is causing all these characters to fight who should not be combined together, yet they are.
Who is the moron, though, who looked at a police box and decided it was a crashed alien spaceship?
The government.
Yeah.
Checks out.
That checks out. Oh, also
I'll buy it.
a little bit about Kensington, Philadelphia. It is a historic neighborhood in Philadelphia that is part of the old working class Irish neighborhood.
Wait, when you say Ultraman goes to check it out, do you mean Ultraman or Hayata?
I mean,
Before he
obviously
turns into
Hayata, and then
Okay,
Hayata
okay.
turned into
Just wanted to
Ultraman
make-
because he interprets this as a threat.
Okay, that I'd assume they would. I'd assume the SSP would.
I really didn't think we could get a better scenario than Bugs Bunny and Popeye in Transylvania.
Here we
So Ultraman
So-
is a experienced space warrior, and Doctor Who has defeated the preeminent space warriors not only in physical combat. This version of Doctor Who, he held them to a standstill to trick them into running away.
All right.
Well, that's
So
a good strategy.
So I believe Doctor Who could hold his own physically until we get to, Ultraman getting big. But the question is, does he get big against somebody who's just human sized?
Yeah, that's the thing. What would prompt Hayata to use the capsule at that point? I'm trying to think of a reason why I actually would like.
Oh, wait a minute. Why on earth didn't we bring Superman into this? He's got a phone booth.
Superman
So
goes
the-
changes out.
Let's just say for some reason that we have not figured out yet, Hayata is goaded into using the beta capsule and turns into Ultraman. So
Well, I
now
mean,
he's fighting the Doctor as a giant space cop.
Yes, now that would be a problem for the Doctor. However, the Doctor does have various gadgets, including a robot dog with various and sundry hand-waving sci-fi things like anti-gravity weapons.
Wait, are
and
you saying
cables that can trip him.
K9 would be able to take on Ultraman? I that might be a tall ask.
Oh no, you can use K9 to set up
A
like a
very
trap.
tall ask.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah, it kind of is, especially considering the fact that in the original Ultraman series himself, Ultraman has gotten out of some crazy scraps with monsters that trapped him, including one that quite literally like bends reality to its will.
Mm. Yeah, no, I was figuring just a
17th
classic.
episode of the show, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Now, is this the kind of neighborhood in Philly where there's going to be like an ocean where the Doctor could possibly trip Ultraman into, or is this all like really residential?
There's a river. Let me see if I can't find a.
Is it the Schuylkill?
I'm not sure.
I think we're generally fighting in Philadelphia.
I love that
Well,
we're
no.
having a big brawl fight like this in the city of brotherly love.
Because I'm not sure the Doctor would willingly throw anything into the Schuylkill
Now
River.
you see, after one or the other loses, they'll just make up and become friends. You see that?
No, I mean that title has been more ironic for the last like 50 years than anything. So
That's true.
It's been more than 50.
All right, so how does,
I might be rounding down a
does
little.
the Doctor deal with any of Ultraman's powers, especially given the fact that
Yeah, can
all
we
of all of his energy attacks would be freaking huge in comparison?
I
can we
mean,
get a slight breakdown of his powers? Because again, I know really nothing about him.
about
Right.
Ultraman or Doctor Who?
So he can shoot.
Ultraman.
So he can fling discs of light with his hands.
Mhm.
He can fire a spacium beam out of his hands as well.
Ray Cortex says, I don't like Ultraman or Doctor Who, so I have to choose who I dislike more or dislike less. And Ray also said, I thought it was a Duckman instead of Deadman. Which, if I were going on theme with the cartoon side of things, I would have picked.
Oh,
They're
that
also
would be a great cartoon
No,
character.
they just kind of randomly pull powers out of their ass. Like,
I mean,
how can we
for
get
all
Ultraman out of this scrap?
for all the energy
not-
attacks, the Doctor could run the energy attacks through the heart, through the TARDIS into the Eye of Harmony.
All right.
How does he deal with being stepped on?
Yeah, that's
important question to ask.
That is the struggle I have with this. While thematically it's on point for both of these characters to deal with each other, the only time I've ever seen Doctor Who deal with something this large, he didn't deal with it directly. He just flew his box and used various hand-wavium science fiction to deal with it.
No, that
And
tends to be how he is.
I think it's funny because
That's the problem. We have two characters who
You don't
can
like
actually
fighting?
get out of anything. Actually,
I thought you were going to say who don't actually do much fighting.
I was going to say Doctor Who is about as close to a cartoon character as you can get with a sci-fi character. So we're on brand here.
Yeah. Because everything's basically like fairy tale magic, just disguised as science.
Now, is Ultraman?
Ultraman's even less disguised when it comes to basically being fairy tale magic. Not that I think that's a bad thing. It's pretty excellent.
It is very excellent.
Yeah.
Speaking of
And
that,
both of these characters will feel very bad about fighting each other later when they all realize, oh yeah, this was a total mistake. I'm so sorry, dude.
And they'll shake hands.
All right, so I'm gonna throw in some 2 cents here. So obviously the elephant in the room is the big questions to ask. Can the sonic screwdriver disrupt the Ultraman's transformation? Because the sonic screwdriver is well known for disrupting the crap out of like a lot of tech.
I mean, it can certainly reverse the neutron flow on things.
Because that would
Yes,
depending on
Ultraman is primarily concerned with light, or photons rather in this case.
Yeah.
But the screwdriver just
it's a sci-fi magic wand.
Yeah. Well, the better question is if it would even be able to. Has anything ever been a threat to his transformation? Because if anything could stop it, then that opens up the can of worms.
Also,
actually. Man, I never even thought of this. I have to be honest, even if this is a case against Ultraman, the time limit is color timer.
Yeah, there's a time
even if Doctor Who doesn't manage to defeat him at the end of the day, he can wear him down because
in that case,
he's used to being exposed to light constantly. So on Earth, that solar energy is diminished. He only has limited time for transformation.
If that's the case, then I have to bring up another question, and that is, what constitutes a win? Because with Doctor Who, even if you kill him, just like Bugs Bunny, he's coming back.
So I think that's an important point, because you have a character that has power based on a time limit versus a time lord. That might be an Achilles heel right there. I'm being honest.
I'm not super familiar with either character, but that seems like it to me.
But Doctor Who does have a time society and time rules he has to follow, except when he doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, but you mentioned all the hand wavy tech, and I kind of agree with you on that at least. He would definitely try to distract Ultraman and throw him off his scent. But if that happens, that would basically be wasting his time.
Yeah.
Which is something he can't waste.
Once Doctor Who realizes that he's on a timer, his strategy would be to keep out of the way of Ultraman long enough until the timer runs out, and then he could, resort to fisticuffs if that becomes necessary.
Now, at some point, the TARDIS is bound to be hit or something because it has to crash once an episode.
Well, we're saying the TARDIS crashing is what's caused all of this.
Oh, that's right. He can't be just flying around then, can he?
No.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking that's
what he can run around Philadelphia. He's run around American cities several times.
Okay.
Yes, we do have these things called roads in America that make running possible and easy.
Is he hitting the cars with the screwdriver and making them fly?
No, but he
seems a bit out of character. Just a bit.
That would be a bit out of character for the Doctor. He wouldn't cause wanton property damage unless it was absolutely necessary.
Is he allowed to hide inside a building that Ultraman would not want to destroy?
There are lots of historic buildings in Kensington, so...
Yes, but he couldn't hide in a historical building and risk the chance it would get destroyed if the building was significant to the flow of time later.
Especially considering the fact that he doesn't know that Ultraman wouldn't knock down the building, even though he wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, despite the fact that Ultraman doesn't want to, due to the chain of events, he seems to have less problem at knocking down buildings than he claims to.
That's
I mean, generally, whenever he fights a monster, it's like in the middle of nowhere, behind a bunch of mountains. It's typically good.
Now, how are the
we don't have to, and it's Nebraska, so you know there's actually very low.
Oh, I thought we were in Philadelphia.
Actually, it is Philadelphia. Never mind. There actually is a decent. There is a decent chance of property damage now. Dang it.
I agree with Neostar though on his thing that this actually all of these characters sound like they should be in a team up comic together.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, like it. As much as I would hate to admit it, I do think it'd be a matter of the Doctor wasting Ultraman's time until he realizes that he has to change back into Hayata.
I will throw one little Allen wrench in here, and that is, how is the retention span of both of these characters? Because you know it's not going to be long before a Weeping Angel shows up and really starts to mess stuff up.
So if I'm being frank,
we're not letting any of that new stuff in.
I can see.
And we're also not letting in any of the antagonists from either series. Like no kaiju show up, none of those trash can robots show up.
So there's no chance that one of them suddenly just disappears from the battle. All right.
Right.
Oh, that's a good point in the chat.
Roshi Paradox, the Philly smog obscures Ultraman's vision from the
Oh man, his color timer would be faster because
no sunlight.
Solar energy would be that decreased in that region.
Okay, guys.
It would be like a cover of fog over the whole thing.
Ultraman just loses.
It'd be an environmental episode about the dangers of pollution.
So,
but at the end would go. This is the true danger.
Conversely, Ultraman stumbles and falls and crushes not only the Doctor but the TARDIS. So I actually think this one could go either way. I think this is a more interesting one than the previous one, just because of the fact that Doctor Who has been killed by much less threatening things than Ultraman before.
Right.
Yes.
So he is clearly threatened by something that is a being of Ultraman's caliber. On the other hand, Ultraman also has, I think, a particular Achilles heel that Doctor Who could exploit. I really think this one goes either way. I think this is a good one, to be honest.
One thing I am curious about is that I know Ultraman has a very dedicated fan base, but from what I know about kaiju, I'm very surprised to not see Godzilla in this spot.
I mean, he's not really a superhero, which I thought was the criteria coming in. Yeah. Walking in Bugs Bunny is one of them.
I said hero, really, but yeah.
Godzilla totally counts as a hero.
Oh yeah, Godzilla's well after the original movie, right? Once you actually start getting into his series, he is more of a hero. He was the problem at first.
I almost picked Godzilla. I decided to go with something goofier instead. If we got a second pick, I was going to put Mechagodzilla in, which I think Mechagodzilla versus Ultraman.
Oh man, you should have put Jaguar in there.
That would have been
Jaguar.
Okay.
I mean, Jaguar wins on having the third name.
We can have another giant monsters night some other time.
So,
I put my money on the
Seven has given one vote to Bugs Bunny, by the way. So, are we? Did you have the straw poll thing figured out?
All right, so I think straw poll is giving me crap. So I think we should just do Twitter polls at this point.
We could do a Twitter poll.
Yeah, let's just do Twitter polls, and then you can.
What about the
Gamera? Has a Twitter account though.
I will put it up on my underneath the announcement. Round one.
Gamera. Like I said, Neostar, we can have a giant monsters night sometime as well.
Yeah, that. This is apparently insane.
This is amazing. In fact, does Elmer Fudd or whoever looking down into the film reel count as a giant monster?
No.
No.
I mean, if anything's going to be a kaiju, it needs to be that Daffy Duck, Chuck Jones monster thing that Daffy got turned into.
Daffy.
That's amazing.
All right, so Seven says back to the previous fight that he'd put money on the bunny.
Well, go ahead and vote over on Twitter. Go to my
So we do have this interesting situation where one character's clear weakness is their size.
Size and a timer for Ultraman.
Yeah.
Basically, Ultraman has a kryptonite. Yeah.
It's not really a kryptonite at all. Like it's present regardless of where he is at all times.
Right. So like
Yep.
kryptonite.
No, you can't use his powers indefinitely. It's not really like kryptonite at all. So long as kryptonite's nowhere to be found, Superman can use his powers as much as he wants.
You're right.
But
But
if he
kryptonite
doesn't
shows
have,
up
if he has
every time
kryptonite on him,
Superman.
if he has kryptonite on him, then you can't use his powers at all. He becomes super weak. As opposed to Ultraman, who if he runs out of time, he just straight up dies.
Yeah. He actually dies?
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying he was going to run out of power.
No, if he runs out of power, he dies, which is why he would have to switch back to Hayata before he ran out of power.
But anyway, that's my comparison, is that in both cases, they have this unlimited power until you put a situation in that just basically takes the power away completely.
No. Like I get where you're coming from, but no.
Okay, then.
I get what you're no.
Yeah, that color timer is the big problem here.
It's what
and
adds the
also
tension to the
Philadelphia.
program.
Yeah,
And Philadelphia also is not good for this battle.
Okay, so we've got only one
Who's
vote
next?
on this one, but we have 3 votes for Popeye's winning out right now
Oh,
on the thing here. I'm gonna
That
refresh
is surprising, but not surprising considering this is based on people who follow you on Twitter.
it. This is true.
Oh.
This is
I'm
true,
just
and
saying-
actually, that's an excellent point that I should go ahead and make. That I need to put my @ in the chat just so everybody who might be watching who doesn't follow me can still find the poll. So
Because that is the problem. Not everyone has Twitter.
that's true. Not everybody has Twitter, but unfortunately, that's our option at the minute.
I
This
mean,
is
like I
your
said,
lo- your
Strumple
fault,
was
Twitter.
just killing me.
Twitlist, it is your fault that I'm losing.
Well,
All right, now we need to get to.
Oh, Popeye! It's tied up for Bugs and Popeye.
Whoa, that happened fast.
Yeah.
I would have expected Bugs to win just because he seems more of a fan favorite.
So.
But also, it's kind of interesting that either the Doctor or Ultraman has to fight Billy Batson.
Bugs has pulled forward.
Oh,
The Doctor is still
Which
leading.
would also be a fitting matchup either way.
So we're gonna go ahead and give it another couple minutes. Actually, I don't know what else we'll do. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. While we're waiting, we will wait on Bugs and Popeye. We're gonna give it just a couple more minutes while we look at our setting for the next match. So
Okay.
just decide where whoever is gonna be fighting with Deadman. So, because that'll be the next match. Well, that's back to Pennsylvania. I'm not doing that one.
yeah.
I'm making an executive decision. It's my show. We're leaving Kensington offside. Now, if we'd been doing versus Captain Marvel and it happened to be in Kensington again, I'd have said, okay, it's the same place.
That makes sense.
Just drop my dice. What the hell?
Bug.
Okay, I'll be right back.
7 says Bugs is the ultimate trickster, is a master of describes, employs extra dimensional rabbit holes. Yes, that's right. And can effortlessly get under anyone's skin. You know, I didn't think about that. Bugs can potentially just annoy you to death.
But see, Popeye is always annoyed.
Very good point. However, I have, and you're not going to believe this, but I have seen Popeye driven to suicide before. Yeah, you heard me, folks. Kids cartoons for the 40s.
Well, I mean, Bugs has been on that verge too. It's like they were allowed to make like real humor back then.
Oh man, they made insane humor back then. The stuff they could pull off that you would never get away with nowadays.
Well, the next scene is the moon.
Nice.
So, let's see.
And this is where the Ultraman and Doctor fight should have taken place.
Yeah, instead of Philly.
Actually, I wish this was.
It would have lasted a
Captain
lot
Marvel
longer too.
Or Superman versus Goku now, because now we could have that massive, like, just destroy the entire area fight.
Okay, with 6 votes cast. Okay, we are gonna call it. We're gonna call it here. Bugs Bunny wins. 4-2. So Bugs Bunny pulls out the win, and then
Bugs
decides.
gets on stage with the golden rabbit statue and is thanking everybody. Flowers falling down on top of him.
Somebody punches him in the mouth.
No. The hook comes out and pulls him off screen. That's all, folks.
So,
All right.
Oh,
So, how's Ultraman and the Doctor going?
let's see. Ultraman and the Doctor. Or the
Tied.
wrong tab. When we'll actually let that
I
one
see.
run.
We need to give that one a little more time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I
like that
thought
one.
Deadman and Captain Marvel were going to go against each other.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we got more votes for Bugs actually. So there you go. But
Oh, wow.
the Dead Ultraman and the Doctor are tied neck and neck at the minute. But we're gonna let that one keep running through the next fight.
All right.
That's how we're
Next
gonna do
fight then.
So the next fight is gonna be Deadman versus Bugs Bunny.
Okay, I love this one because it's the moon, which means Bugs Bunny gets to come down in a spaceship driven by either Marvin Martian or Duck. What's his name? Duck Dodger.
Duck Dodgers.
Yes.
Good gosh.
Amazing.
I
So,
mean, Bugs has flown a rocket on his own, so he doesn't really need anybody.
who was it that picked Deadman? Was that a
That was me. I was trying
Was
to
you?
be. I was being cute.
okay?
You're
Well,
now
yeah,
probably regretting that decision.
You're up, man. How is?
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd picked Mechagodzilla. But I wanted to pick something different. I wanted to because I didn't want it just to be like my character is stronger. I wanted to be like go on a different angle with this.
Right.
And so the angle I've got is that you can't kill him because he already dead.
Yeah, but so you're gonna have to figure out how Deadman can defeat Bugs Bunny, though. That's the
Right.
Oh, this is easy. This is really easy. So basically, because Deadman just possesses people, and can he do can Deadman possess people who are already dead, or do they have to be alive?
they have to be alive.
They have to be alive.
Okay. Well, that's even easier. So in the actually, I know how he wins. Okay. So this is pretty simple.
No, wait,
which
first
is
we
that-
got to go through the scenario.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Come
Fine.
on, let's have some fun here.
Remember, they're on the moon.
How they got there, no one knows.
Well, see, Deadman is not bound by time and space in the same way. His life is linear, but it is not geographically fixed, so he can kind of go wherever. So that much I know. So that's like him being on the moon is not really a challenge.
Bugs, like I said, he gets there in the rocket ship, but then he steps out of the door of the rocket ship with no spacesuit whatsoever and just starts walking around the whole time munching on a carrot.
So Taylor, make your argument.
He's probably visiting his kids that he had with that
No.
rabbit on the moon.
I love that the moon is filled with all these craters because they can act as rabbit holes, like an infinite a network for Bugs to just basically play a massive lunar game of whack-a-mole.
Where did I put the stupid die? Okay.
Over here, nope. Over here, nope. Over here,
All right,
nope. Over
all right.
here.
So
So Twitless. Did I lose you?
No,
So
I'm here.
how does Dead Man even get into a fight with Bugs Bunny?
I have like I was expecting comic book characters here. I am a bit I'm a bit stumped on that one.
I mean, technically, they're both comic book characters.
Okay.
And they're
I'm gonna
both
give you this
DC.
one.
They're both like technically DC Warner Brothers properties. So I'm pretty sure there's a through line in there.
Yeah.
I may not be seeing it. I've had a long day.
I'm gonna
I-
give you
I
this
think-
one. Dead
I
Man's
think-
stories always start with him getting his commission to go do something.
That's true.
And also, I think Dead Man has referenced Bugs Bunny. So Bugs Bunny exists
Oh,
as a
that's
fictional
fun.
character within Dead Man's existence.
Oh, I love this.
This is true.
Is this one of those reverse comic book characters comes out into the real world? Dead Man goes into the comic book.
Well, I don't. That's a little meta for me.
All right. Anyway, I'm jumping into who wins this. So
Okay, fine.
here's how Dead Man wins. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I've got a pretty good case to make here. Dead Man's thing is that he possesses people. Okay, and Bugs. So I'm thinking the Dead Man just wants to teach Bugs a lesson. That's probably the setup here, because Bugs is just that universal irritant. He's the itch that you can't scratch. And Dead Man's finally going to pull one of those scenarios that we talked about before, where Bugs Bunny finally gets his comeuppance. Okay. The way this is going to happen is that Dead Man can possess anybody within reach that, that Bugs knows and would be irritated by. Okay. By the way, the setup that Cartoonicus already set up here already has to have one or more of those characters on the moon with him. So without Deadman having to go very far.
Oh, I love this.
He already has access to either Marvin or Daffy. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
And
it
so
should be Daffy.
when it comes to irritating Bugs to death, all Deadman has to do is access the very long list of characters that Bugs Bunny's got. And basically just irritate him until he basically cries uncle. And I'm pretty sure Deadman has the ability to pull this off.
Ooh, that is
So
a
you're
strong
talking about
argument.
irritating the irritator. This is the battle of the century.
And I think Deadman's got the tools. I mean, heck, he could even go down to hell and pick up Yosemite Sam when he went to hell that one time.
That's where I'm going to go. Is that if things go far enough, eventually you might very well end up getting Bugs Bunny killed somehow, probably when the ship explodes or something. But what that means is a second later, you see harp music playing, and the camera pans up into heaven, and Deadman is up there, and then there's Bugs Bunny still ready to irritate him.
Seven says, Bug should have took that left turn at Albuquerque. That is correct.
How do you get from Albuquerque to the moon?
How does he get from Albuquerque to Spain?
Well, it was because he made that right turn at Pismo Beach.
Ah. What I also love is the idea that Bugs can be doing that, underground digging all throughout the moon's surface.
Yeah. So Cartoonicus, do you have a counter argument to the irritating the irritator?
Well, in a way, that's what I was just saying. That's essentially how this ends. That even if the absolute worst possible thing happens to Bugs, you're gonna get that slapstick result where, oops, even in heaven now, I can't get away from you.
No, see that's assuming that he dies, okay? And the simple fact of the matter is that once he's been irritated to a particular point, Deadman's already kind of won his point. And Bugs has definitely demonstrated that the more irritated he gets, the more out of control, the more he loses. Like, need I bring up all of the times that he gets irritated by the freaking turtle, and the more that he gets irritated, the more he loses, and that's all Deadman has to do.
Oh my!
He just hits that nerve, and Bugs will basically defeat himself.
I am going to bring up one possibility. Since Bugs has existed for the last 100 years now, almost, is that Bugs can always pull out the card of dressing up like a Ghostbuster and coming after Deadpool with a vacuum cleaner.
Deadman.
I keep saying that. I'm sorry.
Coming after. Yeah. Okay. That's the question. Can Ghostbuster bugs defeat Deadman? Well, I don't.
Bugsers.
Well, okay. Here's the problem, though, is that like that. Well, okay. Actually, what am I doing? Twitless, you need to defend this argument.
I mean, no, we can all jump in. I've been jumping. I've been
been a
kibitzing.
multi-person conversation.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to say that like even if he did that, Deadman just jumps into a different host because like he's not visible at all to normal people, right? He's not
I feel a cartoony.
He's not like a Casper ghost where he leaves the thing from. So he could jump from Yosemite Sam or from Marvin the Martian into Bugs Bunny, and then what is Bugs gonna do?
Well, no. Here's what he does is he hops into Daffy, and Daffy then turns into a lawyer and says, "Listen, I'm serving you a cease and desist from Sony Pictures. You're not authorized to use this parody."
There you go. That's funnier.
Oh, this is the stuff of legend. Thank you so much for inviting me on this.
Where are those sketches? Where we needed those fight sketches an hour ago.
Yeah. So,
I'm kidding.
Okay, I think that's good. Well, I already made the poll for it. Let's check out the poll for Ultraman and the Doctor. Which last time I checked, I was really surprised by the results on that one.
Ultraman is winning, and the obvious answer to that question is the Doctor realizes that there's a poor defenseless rabbit and duck trapped on the moon, and only Ultraman can save them. So he surrenders so Ultraman can do the heroic thing and save the poor rabbit and duck trapped on the moon.
Well, that is a very Doctor Who thing to do from my limited understanding of Doctor Who.
Neo Star says if Deadman possesses bugs, then who actually won? That's a funny.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, actually, that's the easy solution, right? Deadman possesses Bugs. He besmirches Bugs' character, and then Bugs ceases to exist.
There you go.
He
just possesses Bugs Bunny and makes him say something incredibly racist on the internet. All over.
Has been around since World War II. He has done plenty of that already.
He just makes him. He just makes him do one of the blackface impressions or something. What Deadman does is he possesses Bugs and has him irritate a whole bunch of the entire cast of the Merry Melodies, and then he leaves him in the midst of them, and then they all just kind of do that look.
Oh.
Okay.
See, at
I'm going to go ahead.
The entire moon is going to explode. Here, that's the thing.
All right, I rest. The prosecution.
I don't think there is resting a case.
I rest my case. I dropped my mic. I think I've made my.
Yeah,
point.
I know that's. We'll leave it. We will leave it to We will leave it to the chat to over to Twitter and vote. Ultraman moves ahead to face against Captain Marvel in the next round, and they are going to be fighting. Let's find out where. Location 2 at Smurf Village. Okay. Now.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay,
so I think there's a hyena.
Here, the SSSP has to go to Belgium for some reason.
No, wait. I want.
Well, no, they're going to Belgium because that's where Tintin's rocket is to get to the moon faster.
So before we get there, guys, I want the chat to write in. This is a question because because Dave came up with the locations. Do they start Smurf size? Or are they already person size to begin with? That's what I got to know. Before we start,
should we flip a coin?
Is there some reason? I want the chat to chime in on this. Is there some reason that they get there and like they get Smurf sized? You know, Billy and I can't remember Ultraman's civil identity. Do they get Smurf sized first or not? That's the question.
It's a really interesting question because both of these characters have their normal version and then their super version.
Yes.
So here you're talking about transforming them yet again.
Yes.
So
They'd likely just show up, no big deal. Maybe
Dead Moon.
because the thing is, if they come in and to Smurf Village full size, they're already enormous, right? I mean, they just gonna pounce Smurf Village? That doesn't seem like a very, so that's the question.
I mean, Smurf Village is kind of fairly centralized. They could just go to the edge of Smurf Village.
That's true.
Not damage anybody's houses.
Should we, by the any chance, use the Smurf movies where they get sucked out of their universe into New York?
Why would you use the Smurf movies for anything?
Just to connect them to these characters somehow.
Guys.
Hey, Twitless, that's unfair. You might need a coaster.
Listen, stop trying to Mandela affect the world. Everyone knows there's never been a Smurf movie. Jeez, you guys.
Hey, the animated one was good.
We're on the internet. Come on, don't
Smurf Village is somewhere in Belgium.
Okay.
that kind of nonsense.
All right, here's my thought. I really want to see Smurf versions of both of these characters.
Well, that's wait.
Well, you'll have to draw them because I don't want to think about how that's going to work
All
out.
right, hold on.
Wait, does Gargamel just transform them into Smurfs? Why? What does he get from that?
Mouse ruined comics.
Oh, drat.
Okay. Thank you. That was very cool.
Yeah, we needed some type of interjection there.
Okay, so let's just say that they aren't Smurf sized. They're just regular sized.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nobody in the
they're
chat is trying to
because he's learned that some magical creatures are under attack by a wizard, and he wants to help. After beating the crap out of the wizard, the scientific search party gets wind. There's some strange goings on in a forest in Belgium, and that's why they're investigating. So now we have our setup. I'm not exactly sure how the heck Billy turns into Captain Marvel and decides to fight Hayate or Ultraman.
It's probably a misunderstanding about who's actually protecting the Smurfs and who's
Right.
the actual threat in the situation.
Exactly.
All
Like
right.
Shazam.
So let's make the assumption that part of the story is already figured out. So
superhero I'm going to put my
Yeah.
superhero misunderstanding. Classic superhero
So
misunderstanding.
now they're transformed and they're ready to fight.
So and here's kind of how I imagine it would happen, right? Is Billy goes first because he hears about this all. He just goes as Billy because he doesn't want to be imposing or to terrify the Smurfs, right? But
Billy is also going to be fascinated with the Smurfs in general. He's
yes,
totally going to be
absolutely
nerding out
he
about
would be.
them.
Well, meanwhile, I imagine that Ultraman going there to defend, especially if he's already just been fighting Gargamel, right? He's already prepared for battle, and so then this giant monster being is hovering over this miniature village, and of course, Billy Batson is going to do what Billy Batson would do, and he's going to say Shazam, transform into Captain Marvel, and fly up and punch this guy in the face with the power of Hercules.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's where it starts, and he's going to knock him away from Smurf Village. That's the ticket.
So now the fight begins. Okay. So
not that
Ultraman's
Captain
advantage
Marvel,
is he's large.
This one.
His power's got crazy reach. You know, Spacium Beam can go pretty far. Those discs, pretty huge. As far as Billy's advantages, he's smaller, and I guess he would be faster. So, unlike, say, Doctor Who, where the Spacium Beam and, the discs and stuff would be a big problem, I don't really think that'd be as much of a problem.
Oh, no.
He could, fly out of the way of those.
No, he's gonna have I can't remember all of the attributes right now, but I mean he's got the speed of Mercury.
He's fast.
All in the name
he's
of
fast and he can fly.
He's super fast. He's super strong. He's super resilient. He's got the endurance of Atlas.
Yeah, come to
great
think of it, he got hit with one of those attacks. He'd probably just bounce back.
Yeah, exactly. And he'd be able to dodge it. He'd be able to redirect the thing. I got to say, I think Captain Marvel takes it. Also, no time
Maybe.
limit.
The time limit, I admit, is the big problem here.
Yeah, I think Billy's just got better feats on his side in general.
And then the other thing
I don't know about that.
the other thing you got to
Doesn't
realize
Ultraman
is
have
Billy,
sorry?
The other thing you got to realize that Billy doesn't have, but the big S that everybody forgets, he has the wisdom of Solomon, right? So that he's super crafty too. So what you got to realize at that point is he's going to figure out the weak parts and how to best defeat Ultraman, and also realize that Ultraman's not really the threat, and he's going to stop it first, the fight first, and that means that he wins because he stopped the fight.
That's an interesting argument, but I think there's I think there's some counters to be made there. First off, I know that people like to talk about the fact that Billy Batson has the wisdom of Solomon, but there is a wealth of counter evidence to display that is not always at play.
I mean, Solomon's wisdom also is questionable too.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, just because you have a thing doesn't mean you use a thing.
Yeah,
I do think that's important. But one of the things that are going to be tickets that are going to let that are going to key Billy into the whole wisdom of Solomon thing is that he's fighting a Japanese-speaking monster. That's even more of a question as to what's going on here. Right?
I mean, Ultraman kind of just speaks in weird grunts and goes "Swatch."
Like I said, in any case, Billy is going to be so just geeking out about all of it.
I mean, I guess, yeah, this would be the thing Billy would find cool.
But I want to say that doesn't. I'm pretty sure Ultraman has some like super powerful like energy blasts that are like annihilation of planet.
Well, so actually,
Ranks.
depending on how you scale, like this is only supposed to be the original Ultraman, but they kind of all are built to scale to each other. So if you want to highball it, the best you can get is universal. But if you're going just OG, it's like large star level.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
So,
while if we're talking about Captain Marvel, he's actually, due to scaling to things like Superman, in the multiversal level of both destructive capacity and durability.
So I gotta stop for just a second. I'm putting the thing together, the poll together, and it provided me with a list of suggestions based upon previous polls I've done.
Mm-hmm.
One of them includes a homecoming adventure and Peter Stamfel, which is an anti-folk singer, and All-Star Superman.
I mean, granted, the biggest limitation here is that both characters have a really strong sense of morality. I don't think either character would really be in it to kill. So that's something we both got to take into account here.
Yeah, but even if like the goal was to just depower the other person, then I think Billy lasts longer.
Yeah, I don't think either of them would really want to use their whole destructive capability. But I do think Billy might find a crafty way to take advantage of Ultraman's one big glaring weakness.
All right, you got to start arguing for your side, man. You can't make you do all the work.
Hey, I'm arguing in favor of both. You know, I see good things and bad things on either side. Billy might have the wisdom of Solomon, but he's also, you know, a kid. He doesn't really use it very often.
Right. So how can you use that to his advantage?
Well, I'd say time is definitely on Ultraman's side. You know, normal form. He not time as in the timer, but time as in how long both Ultraman and his host Hayata have individually lived. Hayata's a young man around his 20s. Ultraman is like 20,000 years old. Well, it's true that Billy has the wisdom of Solomon. He doesn't always use it. Ultraman, on the other hand, is incredibly intelligent, and so is Hayata. I do think that Ultraman's superior sense of strategy may work, but again, the one factor that must be kept in mind here is the color timer. As even as a person who is in Ultraman's corner, I think that is his big problem here, right? That's the one thing that even the show itself acknowledges. It's his Achilles heel.
Because it's like, this is a good environment, but being the best environment on Earth, that gives him like what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, he needs a way to depower Billy quickly. And I guess that would depend on whether or not he could figure out a way to do that before the fight had it even happened, investigating. But if he had investigated, it would have made sense they would have already figured out Billy probably wasn't a threat to begin with.
So we got a couple interesting things in the chat to point on here. First of all, I want to go back to Seven's comment here. Wisdom of Solomon makes a done deal unless there's a harem involved.
Oh, that's low.
That's great. And also, Neo says, my argument is that Captain Marvel would figure out how to subdue Ultraman and then prove his innocence to him. Which, that's my whole argument.
Yeah, that is Rhys's argument.
Here, Seven says maybe Billy gets all demoralized by declaring life is meaningless.
That'd be funny.
Ecclesiastes joke.
That'd also be a real contrast to Ultraman, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Billy, there's only one female in the entire Smurf villains.
Yeah,
okay, there we go.
Tiny blue woman. It's kind of just not.
Neo says, "Wait a minute, guys. Why are we having a fight between morally upright and rational?"
Yeah, that's the real.
Well, it's also typically why in versus battle situations, the one thing that you really push aside is their moral standing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if I pushed aside Ultraman's moral standing, he'd win most of these because he just absolutely polarized these tiny people.
Well, I will admit this. The last big time that they did push aside the moral standing, we got Martha!
Well, that's a debate for a different day. So, so let's see. I think we've made our cases here. Let's go back to the Twitter poll and let's check on the last fight and see how things shook out from Deadman versus Bugs Bunny.
All right.
So we are our Deadman is leading by I think 1 vote if I'm counting right. So Sprited in the chat said that it's that Bugs Bunny's too overpowered for any fight with him to be viable. And I see your point, but I still think that Twitless made a case. You'd have to go back and check it. Maybe you were here all along and I didn't notice. Anyway. But I think it's time. We're going to have to give it to Deadman based on the poll. That's the wrong window. Just double check. Yes. Okay.
Bugs
And who
Bunny
knows?
is.
I gave these things an hour because I wasn't sure how long each discussion would take. So who knows? After the show, we might find out that things have flipped. And that
For now,
really be
Bugs Bunny is lying in a coffin with a flower, and he reaches up, grabs the open top of the casket, and closes it on himself.
That's amazing. So I also went have and already started the poll in over on Twitter. So if you guys are in the chat, jump on over to Twitter and vote quick to see Ultraman or Captain Marvel. This is Billy Batson, Captain Marvel, just in case I didn't say that enough times. So go ahead and let us know what you think about that. And then we'll go ahead and have the final fight, because it looks like the double elimination thing's not working for whatever reason. But it's also 9, so.
Yeah, it's getting late.
All right, so what does that leave us with then? I'm over here drawing.
Well, right now we're looking at Captain Marvel or Deadman, and then the finale will be Captain Marvel or Ultraman, and the finale will be against Deadman.
That'd be an interesting matchup either way.
Yeah, for sure. I've already got my my scheme put together. If I win. Oh, Ultraman is in the lead. With only 3 votes, though. Well, that's how
We have a few more. We have 4 to come in.
Yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit though.
If this boils down to Deadman taking down, Seven says, if this boils down to Deadman taking down Ultraman, this is going to get dark.
This is true.
I do not want to see Deadman possessing Ultraman. That could be bad.
Actually, If Ultraman, in addition to being a ghost, could turn into a giant monster, this would make a good episode of Classic Ultraman, honestly. Like him just possessing random members of the Science Patrol. That'd be great. That'd be really cool.
Okay, well, it's happening on the ice planet Hoth.
Oh,
Okay,
my.
this is a wild setup. I'm not exactly sure how.
Oh,
Okay, let's just say crossover fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom, Smash Bros. Rules. They're just there, no explanation. Okay.
Yeah. I think you have to come up with something like that at this point.
well, I don't know. Kaiju movies have been known to bring in aliens.
So, okay, back to the poll. We're gonna go ahead and oh man, it's tied. At 4, it is tied 2-2 right now. So
At this point, people are probably just going to be choosing theirs before the argument even happens.
So it is the tortoise or the hare. It's just all a matter of patience. So, and Neo points out again, these would be better as crossover stories than mashups. But yeah, but it wouldn't be as much fun to argue about.
I don't know. I think we should take.
I mean, the Ultraman Doctor Who crossover did sound kind of decent, honestly.
I feel like we should take all this information that we've gleaned from tonight and use it to create a massive crossover story.
Well, we got one more vote, and Billy Batson has been nudged out. It is Ultraman versus Deadman.
Ah, man, here we go.
I mean, honestly, I like that better because
I've already got one compelling part of the argument.
I think I probably know your argument on this too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hear it, Rhys.
So, well, I'm not Deadman. That's Twitless.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I think your problem is you can only make this exact same arguments you made to me.
I mean, yeah. Well, except in terms of irritation, it's more just like, you know, can Deadman, can he pull off like kaiju possession? Because at that
Here's
point,
the thing: we're not talking kaiju possession. We're talking possessing a person
yeah.
who is already technically possessed by a being of pure light, who is super powerful
And has actually used light to kill ghosts before.
Ooh.
Okay, I gotta get the poll going.
Oh man!
I'm gonna go with the Deadman. Deadman has. I'm gonna go with Deadman possessing kaiju actually, because yeah, you're right. I don't think he. Yeah, that.
But remember, you're on Hoth.
Yeah, Hayata's already possessed by powerful light alien.
On Hoth.
So.
Does
Oh, but the time limit's going to be short because of the climate of Hoth, right? It's really dark. It's gray. It's cold.
Yeah. Okay.
On here.
Okay. So we're on Hoth. What is Deadman going to possess since he can't possess Hayata?
I mean,
an AT-AT?
Can Deadman possess machines?
No.
Okay, so he can't do that.
The Yeti. Was he going to possess the Yeti thing?
Ultraman could step on that.
Oh, I really want to see.
Here's the thing. Here's the sad bit: is the fact that you might be able to step on a couple of the things that Deadman possesses, but if we have Hoth and Hoth have those, what are they called? They're not called Yetis.
Oh
no, they're not called. What are the
Yeah, whatever they're called, the snow monsters.
Yeah, hold on.
See, I really want to see.
Yeah, I just call them Yeti
theater.
things, but I know what you're talking about.
They're called Wampas. Yeah. So here's the thing, and it's sad, but I still think Deadman takes this. Except it's not going to be as cool of a fight. It's basically you realize that Hoth is a planet. Okay, so. Yeah. And there's like more than one Wampa on that planet. So, and there's Tauntauns.
Army of Wampas and try to swarm Ultraman?
No, he can just do it one at a time until Ultraman gets tired. It's literally a war of attrition. And the thing is, Deadman can just keep on possessing stuff. He's not at a limit of, I possess one thing, I'm done. It's possess, Wait a
And
minute. Possess more.
Hayate could keep on turning back into Hayate whenever the time limit was getting a bit too risky. So
I'm just saying it's literally going to be a war of attrition against a human
So
being,
the question
unfortunately,
is-
versus a spirit. And I think,
No, that's the thing, though. So Ultraman has
between a
killed
spirit and a
ghosts.
human being. Yeah, he has, but it's not just an attrition. It's a war of attrition between extremely benevolent being of light and a ghost.
You guys are still missing one thing. I really want to see a snow speeder attempting to trip up Ultraman with one of those cables.
And the other thing to remember is that Deadman is not just some ghost. Like Deadman is empowered by
oh yeah, that's right. He's empowered by like a
the goddess of kindness.
Yeah, so he's not just that's right. It's like he's empowered by like a goddess he recognizes as like kind of like an ultimate being. So he's not just a regular ghost.
Yeah.
So he kind of has the sort of I'm an avatar of a higher power. So
So there are actually a lot of similarities between Ultraman.
Again, this crossover minus the Hoth part would actually kind of work really well, but that's besides the point. I think we're in a point where the characters are actually kind of evenly matched.
Yeah,
This happens every time.
I'm actually glad.
They're both kind of equally busted.
I'm glad I picked Deadman. This has been actually a lot of fun making the arguments for him.
It's been fun making arguments in favor of and against Ultraman at the same time, and Ultraman still kept winning. You know, it's my boy.
Now we need.
It's Hayate for you.
Now we need Deadman versus Godzilla.
Well, actually, so Deadman does have another power, though.
Oh.
See, he can sever like physical connections between things.
He can?
Yeah. It was a pre-crisis power.
What is up with you?
Right? So what if he just severed the connection between Hayate and Ultraman?
Oh.
That's a good question because that's a theoretical, right? We don't know if he could actually do that. But,
Well, it's a good argument in favor.
I don't know.
Does
this qualify as a physical connection, though?
Okay, so here's the question. Here's the thing that'll I think decide that particular element, right? I don't know this, right? But with how did because there's been more than one Ultraman, right? How did that happen?
How did the first Ultraman get in? Become one with Hayate? Basically, Ultraman's giant sphere of light accidentally crashed into Hayate's jet,
right,
while he was doing patrols. Ultraman deeply regrets this and gives his life to Hayate. So basically, they become one.
Right.
So
but I mean,
basically
after
Green
that,
Lantern.
like, what happened after Hayate?
What happened after Hayate? So basically, Ultraman sacrifices himself for humanity and dies, and he and Hayate become separate. Ultraman's commander comes and says, "Oh man, you don't have to do this." And Ultraman's like, "No, I'll give my life to the human again. Let him live." He's like, "Oh, fine. Here, I have 2 lives. I've come bringing 2 lives. You and the human can both live now." And that was the end of the first Ultraman show.
Okay, so the argument in Deadman's case here is that Swamp Thing was being possessed, right? So this was something that was strong enough to mentally possess Swamp Thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Its spirit was in his body, and the psychic connection between them was severed by Deadman, and he was like the only person who could do it.
Okay. So that actually is a strong argument in favor of Deadman, actually. I didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah. I actually have the page in front of me.
I knew him as that one
Here,
crazy
where's the screen share thing?
Here, let me go ahead and
share this one.
the DC character with the wildest comics ever. Yeah, if he can sever sidekick connections, this actually does pose a problem for me.
Yeah. And that's the challenge of the unknown fighting too, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, Seven's bringing up some facts to correct my ailing memory here. It says ultra beings also appear to be nearly impossible to kill, as several times an ultra being has been killed only to be revived by another member of their species.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I mean,
Ramakrishna,
that happens at the end of the first Ultraman.
Ramakrishna was the goddess of Nanda Parbat. She's primarily concerned with the cosmic balance.
Which side are you on? Who are you helping out?
Seven?
So here's the thing. Every time now we seem to have ended up with a stalemate. So what if instead we take the two of each, make them team up, and then have a battle royale?
Well, I think we can let the chat vote.
So the problem here is that we face an issue where if Ultraman gets separated from Hayata, he ends up living anyway. I guess Hayata being on Hoth, he's bum out of luck unless he finds a nice safe place, or the SSSP somehow finds him with their special jet that can fly up into space.
Yeah.
Upgrade
Hey,
that they
what's the
get
gravity on Hoth? How
From a
does that
galaxy far, far
affect
away.
let's just say he can get rescued, but
Yeah.
does him becoming separated from Ultraman then count as a loss? That's the real question.
I would
Well, I
think
mean,
so.
he would probably freeze to death pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
That depends. We got it. We got any of those the tauntauns? Is he next to like a station?
Dead man wouldn't let him die.
Dead man wouldn't let him die.
Before
Yeah,
or
that's
after?
again. We're pitting two inherently benevolent characters against each other.
Yeah. So
And benevolent characters in service of like a higher power.
and if Dead Man felt like he had to separate them for the sake of whatever, then he would immediately possess Hayatama or whatever his name is, Hayata, and get him to safety and risk his own soul to keep that guy alive. So that would be what Dead Man would do. So
it's an everyone wins regardless of who wins situation.
Yeah, it really is.
We've made a better story than anything DC Comics has come up with recently.
Honestly, yeah, there's been drama, there's been conflict, there's been resolution. Characters have warmed up to each other.
And warmed each other.
They made their peace with each other.
And Bugs Bunny is the least moral of all of the characters we brought to the table today.
That is true.
And yet he lost. That shows the power of good triumphing over evil.
It's the circle of life.
How on earth
Yes,
did
it is.
I end up with the least moral character?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You got to look at your
you
own soul
picked
to say
him?
that. So, for the record, the Facebook chat. I mean, not Facebook. The Twitter poll. Should we check on it one more time?
Hold on, I need to vote.
Oh, you haven't voted yet?
My Twitter's acting fun. Everything's
Oh,
acting
I never
funky on
got
me
to
today.
vote for mine.
I never voted at all.
I mean, if it's a Twitter, it's why not?
Yeah.
Why not vote for your guy?
They took to Twitter.
I was gonna vote double KO, but the straw poll didn't work.
I demand a recount.
All right, come on. Let me click on this.
Oh, I want to see what the comments are saying.
Oh, I
here.
can't vote. It's my poll.
Oh, meaningless. 7 is still adamant that the Trickster Bunny wins.
Even when he loses, he wins.
Exactly.
See, and I'm
That's
on good
my
behavior
point.
too, because I've got like 10 Twitter accounts. I could have rigged the poll in my favor.
That would be the least moral of all.
So,
yeah.
well,
Or
Well,
call
I
a bunch of hey, I'm gonna call my grandma. Can you please vote in this random Twitter poll?
Oh, okay,
and click
so
on Dead Man.
So we've got a full on tie. We're gonna call it at 4 votes, because the show's running long.
Somebody said Martha.
And somebody said Martha. And Ray left us. Goodbye, Ray. Thanks for coming on. Check the thing tomorrow. It's also fitting, being as Dead Man serves the goddess of cosmic balance, so that works out okay. And we'll go ahead and end with this little Smurf version of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel Jr. More accurately, that's that outfit.
Cartoonicus, did you whip that up?
Yes.
Okay.
That was me.
And it's still seared into my soul that Elvis Presley and Gomer Pyle were both influenced by Captain Marvel.
Yes, yes, both big fans.
Yeah.
That's
Very
why
cool.
in the pre-52 universe, Captain Marvel Jr. is a rockabilly kid because they're playing homage to how much Elvis loved Captain Marvel. So the big winner.
It's hard not to love.
There's nobody.
The big winner is
Never
all the friends we made along the way.
The
big
winner
winner
is anyone who is watching this stream tonight or being part of
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely. That's the ticket. It's
Winner is Allies of Justice.
It's friends. It's
I'm
friends.
actually surprised this was actually far less of a disaster than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I was really trying to round people up in the last couple days in between stuff, and
This was the best night in the history of live streams.
I don't know if that's true. But if you think so, then you should go out and tell everybody to come check the show out and maybe even subscribe so that I can back out yourself on Odyssey just in case.
Already done so.
Excellent. Excellent. Tell all of your friends and family. Come here, get the good stuff. Next week, we are doing, I believe next week is my favorite Spider-Man story. And I don't know who all is going to be here for sure. I'm going to see if I can talk Doug Ernston to come along. We'll see.
Oh, that would be a good. Yeah, he's a big
I know.
Spider-Man dude. I want to hear his.
He wants to keep his guest appearances pretty limited on stuff, so I don't know if he'll want to or not. But
Oh, come on! Like it's we got to get him if we can.
yeah, what am I going to do? We're going to drive to his house and Doug, I know you don't owe me anything, but you owe me something. Come on.
Doug, we're talking about your everyone's favorite Spider-Man comic. If you're not here, it's gonna be weird.
Oh,
I mean, I'm still holding out hope that Doug makes a surprise cameo in the Moon Knight TV show.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's it for the night. And then in 2 weeks, Comics Creators Club with Saving the World and The Flock. So I'm excited for that one. That's 2 weeks out. And until next time, get out there and read some comics. Come on, what else are you doing with your life? Night.
I'll certainly be writing them.